Top of the lineup is back, baby.
Hey-o.
Episode number 37.
Hey-o. We're back, baby.
I didn't give you a chance to say your AO.
Nah, it's fine.
Been a
It's
while.
fine. Hey-o.
It's been a while.
It's definitely been a while. We're a little rusty.
A little rusty. Gotta knock that rust right off.
Exactly.
We're back. It's been a minute.
It has, dude. I think like 5 to 10 people hit me up. It's like, hey, when are you recording again? Like, hey, when are you recording again? It's like, oh, what's what are you guys going to talk about? Like, I think it's pretty cool that now we're kind of getting hit up on that.
Yeah, people care. You guys care
now. I know.
I wasn't going to talk about this on here, but fuck it. I'm going to talk about it. This off season, we're already planning for the off season. We want some guest hosts.
Yes.
If you want to be on our podcast, hit us up. Like,
yep,
we could talk about whatever. It doesn't matter if it's your playing history or if you're a fan of the Cardinals or, a random team that we might not talk about all the time. Like, let's do it. I would be so down for an entire episode on the Cincinnati Reds or, just a random team. Right. So if you want to be on the podcast, let us know. We got some room this off season.
We'll create an application. There'll be an application process.
Do you have a pulse? Do you like baseball?
Yeah, exactly.
You're in.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, we'll get started with our quick hits. This is a big blow.
Yeah.
This is a big blow. For me, this is more than a quick hit. I have said it time and time and time again. Teams only go as far as their bullpen goes. The Giants put Jake McGee on the IL today with an oblique strain. Now, there's a chance for him to come back. Okay. His season's not entirely in the dust. However, you are in a race to win the division. And as soon as I started to doubt the Giants, they fucking proved me wrong. So I'm not going to doubt them. However, if I had something to doubt, it has always been their pitching. Their pitching has just, it has done amazing this year. Don't let me get ahead of myself.
A lot of magic.
But at some point, magic wears off. At some point. I'm not saying it's going to. Don't get me fucking wrong. Don't come at me.
It could be a magical season, right? It could be a magical season.
2010 was one hell of a year. I don't know how you guys got it done that year. Just saying. Anyways, this is a big blow. Trevor Rogers can be down there closing games. You guys got is it Tony Watson? Is that the lefty you guys got?
Tony Watson, yeah.
Tony Watson. Yeah. So there's options down there, but not ideal. Jake McGee, and don't get me wrong about Jake McGee either. He wasn't, this lights out closer. We went to that Sunday night game and the Giants shouldn't have even flirted with letting the Dodgers come close, and it got closer than it should have. So yeah, big blow.
Jake McGee has always been a strong setup man, whether it was with the Rockies, right? I think he even pitched for the Rays too, and Dodgers, right? So like he's definitely a necessity. We need that, especially. I'm glad with yesterday, the Giants somehow won that game. But it was just
it doesn't fucking matter. They win. The fucking bat boy can go up there and he'll strike your ass out and then I'll hit a home run to walk off the damn game.
You got Brandon Crawford, Brandon Bell hitting home runs, and then you got Donovan Solano just coming off the IL and just tanking one to left field, right? And you got Gossman hitting the walk-off pop-up deep center. Surprisingly,
that was a solid walk-off.
Dude,
I've seen pitcher walk-offs that are like, oh, you just fucking dribbled that one. No, that was a solid.
Yeah,
that was good.
It's crazy. I think it was like the 10th inning, so that just goes to show like the bullpen was able to battle it out. And I know, even since the Dodgers, like they've been kind of changing up the strategy and just having relief pitchers starting the game and kind of just playing the bullpen style strategy, and it's working. It's helping. I think obviously I kind of know like why they're doing it, right? Just kind of save the starters, right? Especially come playoff time. But there's gonna come a time where, hey, the Dodgers are literally like a game and a half. I mean, if the Giants lose today, they're gonna be a half game up. Where that bullpen shit's not gonna be it, you know. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But hopefully Jake McGee can get us at least like at the bare minimum. If somehow the Dodgers take first place, I hope McGee is there in the wild card game. I that's my hope. So speedy recovery, please.
You better hope so. You better hope so. Cody Bellinger just came out that he has a fractured rib, but he's been playing through it.
Yeah, I think he's sitting today, or he sat today.
Yes,
I think he did. But damn, like that's crazy, you know. I don't think I would ever want to play with a fractured rib.
You know, we were kind of talking about this off air. Cody Bellinger has got a bad reputation this year. And I think so many people have been so quick to jump the ship. And let's be real, he has had a horrible year. I'm not defending him on the season. However, this is still a cornerstone player. And obviously, thank God that Dodger fans aren't GMs. Could you imagine if they put Cody Bellinger on the trade block? I would take him in a heartbeat. I would take Cody Bellinger on any single team. I can't think of one team that couldn't fit Cody Bellinger into either their outfield or first base position. There's not one team that wouldn't say, yes, I will take him. Literally.
He'd look good in a Giants jersey.
He would look damn good in the green and gold.
Chris Bryant and Cody Bellinger. Oh,
yeah, exactly. Wow. So I'm tired of the slander.
Yeah.
And the entire just like give up on him. I understand benching him. I'm not arguing with that.
I mean, the dude has a fucking fractured rib, you know, but
yeah. But and the other thing that people keep pushing away, and look, the game's offensive. You got to score runs to win games. But there's one other way to win a game. It's to stop the other team from scoring. He's one of the best center fielders in all of baseball.
Yeah.
And I don't think many people give him that rep. I mean, time and time after again, he makes the fancy plays, but he also makes the plays that aren't on the highlight reel, right? You don't see him making too many blunders. And yes, he threw it all the way into the fucking Alameda.
It happens. It happens. It happens.
But for the most part, this guy is someone that any team would want. And I don't know. It's just weird. And I know fans always get like that, right? You want to fire the manager after he blows a game because of the bullpen. But dude, just relax.
Exactly.
Just relax.
Exactly.
But
and
anyways.
you know, it's these I mean, yeah, there are Dodger fans, like hardcore Dodger fans that are pissed off but mostly there's spectators who just became Dodger fans maybe in the past 2-3 years. And even if Bellinger is not doing good, he still has that presence in the club that will help them, you know, just be better. You know what I mean? And it's not his fault that the Dodgers are in second place, right? Like there was just so many things that happened this season with pitching. I mean, there was just so many injuries in the beginning. And I mean, you have Bauer, you know, with his shit. It was just a lot of things that happened. And it's not necessarily his fault. Like, yeah, he's struggling, but every player has this is going to sound weird, but every player has the right to have a shitty season here and there. Like you don't expect him to be perfect. Even Albert Pujols, there's been a couple seasons where he didn't hit 20 home runs. I mean, were you guys giving him shit then? I don't think so. You know, so just put that in perspective.
Definitely. A little
I saw this
old school little chess match going on here.
Yep.
So early on in this series, the Angels plunk 2 White Sox hitters in the game. Fast forward 2 days later, if you watch this entire at bat and you sent me the video, look, hitters get hit. I understand that. Pitchers make mistakes. but it is very clear when you are trying to hit a hitter. All three of those pitches missed very bad. And I don't care how good a pitcher is or how bad a pitcher is. If you're at the major league level, you know how to hit the strike zone.
Mm-hmm.
You know how to hit the zone. Those three pitches were very apparent what they were trying to do. And so Mike Wright intentionally hits Shohei Ohtani on the third pitch of the at-bat. The first two missed horribly bad inside and one down and in. The third one, he hits him on the calf. Umpire immediately comes out. They have like a little get together and he gone, ejected. Get him out of here. And Tony La Russa gets ejected along with this. He's arguing it wasn't on purpose. Dude, I go back and forth with Tony La Russa. He's gonna win the AL Manager of the Year, which is fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I've doubted him from the beginning. I have vouched that he should not be the manager, and this is coming from an A's fan who idolizes the man. But it's just we're in a new era. And yeah, let's be real. This shit was on purpose. Just move on. Shut up. Take your suspension. They're both suspended. Let's move forward.
Yeah, and I mean, might as well just talk about it now. We had it in a later segment, but yeah. I mean, there's a couple of things to go into this. I mean, it's like 3 pitches, dude. Like, come on. That's my thing. I think Freddy Freeman got hit on purpose maybe a couple weeks ago, and he wasn't mad about it. He understood that sometimes that's going to happen, right? Especially with just the heat of the moment. But he said, you have one chance to hit me. Mm-hmm. After that if you miss your opportunity, then you missed your opportunity. You can't try to throw at me again, because then that's when it gets serious. You had three opportunities, and it was clear as day that you threw at one of the best players in Major League Baseball. You were clearly trying
the best.
Okay.
The best.
Trying to hit him. And it's just like, I hit him in the calf, lower half. Like, that's cool, but that could have fucked him up. But I don't know. I just I don't like it. You know what I mean? I don't like that they try to hit Ohtani. Like, why not? I hate to say it, you're gonna not like this, but why not Suzuki? He's the fucking catcher. Why not hit the catcher? Why Ohtani, especially with all the things that he's trying to accomplish? Like, why would you even risk injuring this man? But again, Tony La Russa, old school baseball. I get it, right? There are times where you have to hit a batter. Like, that's just how it is. That's always how it's always been. But that's not the right time, especially if you missed 2 fucking pitches and then you hit him the third time. It's embarrassing, honestly.
Yeah,
it's quite embarrassing. And then Tony La Russa, you see him pulling the phone. It was just a bad look. I mean, the White Sox are in first place. They've been literally coasting this whole fucking year against the teams that they've been playing. Obviously, they had injuries. Again, I mentioned this. I admire them to be able to overcome that. But they've literally been coasting this whole fucking year. And for them to stoop down to that type of level, and I'm not surprised by Tony La Russa at this point. It's just fucking dumb. Especially it's Ohtani. Like, that's my thing. And you heard Matt Vasgersian. He's like, come on, dude. Like,
Matty V, one of the best.
When you have the broadcasters pissed off about it, like, that's when you know what I mean? And these guys I believe is on ESPN. That's why he does Angels. He does Angels. Yes. So, like, I don't know. And Matt Vasgersian is one of those guys. He's not super biased. There are broadcasters super fucking biased about their teams. I feel like he's always been fairly non-biased, and he's always just a fan of baseball.
Shout out to the A's fan, Matty V.
Yeah, and when you piss someone off like that's when you know.
Just frustrating. Frustrating. I'm ready to double down. The White Sox aren't going to win the playoff series. I'm almost ready to double down that they get swept.
That's
in their first series, which is against Houston, more than likely.
Oh yeah, they're gonna get a rude awakening. They are going to get a rude awakening, because the Astros in playoffs are completely different from regular season Astros.
The A's found that out the hard way last year.
And the regular season Astros this year have been decent. at this point. Obviously, they're in first place, so I'm kind of scared for them.
Are they sneakily the Giants of the American League?
Yeah, here I like to make this kind of comparison. They are the Bryce Harper of Major League Baseball, where you love them, you hate them, and they're still there. So like, okay, so this best way of putting it, Bryce Harper is the most underrated, overrated prodigy of Major League Baseball.
I get what you're saying.
So he was hyped up so much and hated so much that people have completely forgot that this dude's legit, and he is more than likely going to win the National League MVP, but nobody is talking about it because they fucking hate him. They hate him. A lot of people hate him. They just, it's the same thing with the Astros though, because of what happened, right? They hate them so much, like they're like, oh, whatever.
We've dismissed them, but they've been legit. The A's haven't had a hold of first place since I think May or some shit like that.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy, and the Astros are doing it without Verlander for the most part. They're doing
without Cole.
Without Cole,
which I know it's been.
They have these young pitchers. They have these young pitchers that are just shoving it. You know, their ERAs are pretty good. I don't know how they're doing it, but they are. And yeah, I could say, yeah, they are like the Giants, and yeah, they are like Bryce Harper, because you hate them so much, you're just like,
fuck
you shunned them. Yeah, fuck them.
Yeah. Going back to the NL West, hard not to go back to the NL West. Giants and Dodgers have already clinched the fucking playoff berth.
I know, it's kind of crazy. I mean, we talked about it over and over and over again, that the NL West is the best division in Major League Baseball, and it's clear as day. When you have two teams clinch before any other team clinches, when you have two teams that have top 5, right, best records, obviously they both have 90 plus wins, like it's pretty crazy to see that. I don't remember a time where I saw two teams in the same division clinch before any other team and have 90 wins, and I mean in the same division. It's kind of crazy
year coming out of the NL West, but not well, it is a surprise, but at this point it's not a surprise. I should say
it's not a surprise that it's two teams dominating. It's just a surprise that it was the Giants. I thought it was going to be Padres, Dodgers. We all thought it was going to be everyone. And the Giants just said, hey, fuck you. And we'll just play baseball.
I have the Giants as the 4th best team in that division.
I think I had them last. I don't know. I could be wrong. It might be. Actually, I probably had them before the Rockies or something.
Before the Rockies, but I could have saw the Diamondbacks putting a decent year together, which the Diamondbacks have been shit, but crazy.
Their analytics team should get a raise. The whole staff. Yeah, the whole staff within the analytics team.
You're welcome for Farhan Zaidi.
Yeah, exactly.
You're welcome. That is a Oakland A's product.
Okay.
You're very welcome.
Yeah.
So yeah, just throwing that out there.
Yeah, nice.
It has been a while since we recorded, but we were in SF for the last game of the regular season of the Dodgers and Giants, and it did not disappoint. Well, it did disappoint.
Well, yeah.
For me. For me disappointed.
Too.
Yeah. Deep down it didn't.
Yeah.
Deep down it didn't. Soto wearing Dodger stuff is my favorite thing of this entire MLB season. I changed that to your contact photo instantly. And I love it. It is my favorite picture that I have with you, of you, period.
Yeah,
seeing you in Dodgers blue is fucking amazing. Right in front of the ballpark, at the ballpark. Great stuff.
With my fanny pack.
Yeah, your fanny pack. Don't sleep on the dad look that you had going
on. My god. That was dude. I got so many messages
I'm so
on what the fuck are you doing? Or some people were like, I love this, but it
Me
was
too.
it was nice, but I'm not ashamed. I am not ashamed. I kind of am ashamed. I was a bit embarrassed to wear the Dodger gear, but when you look at it as a whole, between us two, we are baseball fans,
Mhm.
and I enjoyed doing it because it's fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think there's an issue with just baseball as a, I mean, I think any sport, a lot of fans
Mm.
really identify themselves as Giants fans or Dodgers fans, and that's their identity. It's literally just the team. That's all they live for. And I mean, to each their own, but I think there's a problem where they don't necessarily see eye to eye. Like, here I am just doing it because I'm a baseball fan and because we're having fun on this podcast. And there were some people that were like getting mad about it. It's like, dude, I don't define myself as a Giants fan. I don't define myself as a fucking Dodgers fan. I'm a baseball fan first, and I'm gonna have fun and do stuff like this, because it is fun. I mean, who would have thought me wearing Dodgers gear? I would never wear Dodgers gear. That's the reality of it, right? Not because I'm a Giants fan, but I just have never really cared for the Dodgers that much. That's just, I didn't know too much about the Dodgers.
Shit changes.
Shit, dude, I did not like even though the Dodgers are in the same division as the Giants, I never really cared to learn more about the Dodgers. But there's just so much history with the Dodgers. There's so much just cultural just impact that the Dodgers have made in Major League Baseball. And I'm finally realizing that because we've been doing this, because I had to be a Dodgers fan this year. I've been researching, I've been doing things where it's like, holy shit, like the Dodgers truly do have like this impact. And again, if I was all prideful and doing, oh, I'm Giants fan, I wouldn't have done it, and I wouldn't have learned, and I would just be another closed-minded Giants fan or a
Mhm.
closed-minded A's fan. Like, just the list goes on. I'm not trying to be a closed-minded baseball fan. I want to be open. I want to learn. I want to impact, and that's impact my life and impact others. Like, that's the reason. I know I'm like digressing and everything, but it's just like, I'm glad that's my profile picture for you, because I think it's just like, it's just that turning point of maturity where you don't have to define yourself by one specific team. You can just enjoy baseball. Like, imagine, I think, what happened. Oh, this was, remember, this is a horrible, actually, I'm not going to bring it up. I'm not going to bring it up. It was with the Tyler Skaggs thing. The person who was um the staff member that was giving Tyler Skaggs, the drugs or whatever. I don't know if it's painkillers. I think it was painkillers. He tried giving the dealer like a signed Mike Trout picture. He said, "Hey, I'll trade you this Mike Trout picture for for the painkillers." And he said, "No, I'm a Dodgers fan." But like, again, like, it's just one of those things. It's like, would you really turn down a Mike Trout autograph thing? Again, horrible example, but just long story short.
I get the message that you're trying
Long
to
story
say.
short, it's like, hey, just enjoy baseball, have fun.
Hey, it's about the sport. And look,
Exactly.
I know so many people that as soon as a player leaves the team, it's like, oh, fuck that guy. Dude,
Yep.
I am the biggest Marcus Simeon fan. Like, I love that he's having the year that he's having with the Jays. And go off, King. Like, literally,
Exactly.
go get your money. The A's were stupid to
Mm-hmm.
not sign you. Go fucking win the MVP. I know it's not
Mm-hmm.
going to happen, but go do it. I hope he gets $100 million after this offseason. I hope he does.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I hope it's not. And I hope he fucking goes to the Angels. I hope he goes to the Astros. And then he shoves it right down our freaking face all year long. And good for him.
Mm-hmm.
Good for him. And
Exactly.
at the end of the day, it's about the sport, right?
Yep.
I watch the World Series, whatever team is in it. I watched the Super Bowl.
I mean, you kind of have to for you know. I'm just like, no.
But I mean,
You know,
but seriously,
yeah, no,
right?
seriously, yeah,
I don't take myself out of it. I hated the Giants and I
exactly.
hated the Rangers in 2010. Hate both of them. Still watched every single game, every single
Exactly.
inning, because it's about the game. It's all that matters. But we digress. Dodgers and Giants clinching already is just nuts to me.
Yep.
What this means statistically is they could lose every single game from here on out. Every single game. They could not score another run this regular season and they will be in the playoffs. That's what that means.
Yeah.
So
that's crazy.
That's the impact. 2023, the All-Star game is returning to the Pacific Northwest. If you're watching us on YouTube, I'm wearing a Ken Griffey Jr. shirt. Soto's wearing a Ken Griffey Jr. hat.
Yep.
In honor of, we didn't do this on purpose, but
yeah,
in honor of the All-Star game going to T-Mobile Park. I'm excited because I am planning on going to this park next year. This is on next year's agenda. So I'll get to see the park finally, but it's a park that I've loved for a long time. And so good to see it get in another All-Star game. It's been a while.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been there. It looks nice. I'll more than likely go to the All-Star game if you're down. Obviously, if
I need to go to an All-Star game.
Well, next year it's in Los Angeles, so I mean,
we'll likely be there.
We might just do it a yearly thing. I mean, just
fuck it,
you know. And also, hey, we're probably gonna go to a playoff game this year as well. So
sorry about it.
Hey, fan council. You know, San Francisco fan council, early access, baby.
This will be the first playoff game. If we truly go, this is going to be the first playoff game that I go to that the A's are not playing in. Fun fact. Never been to a playoff game of another team. We were
in Oakland, right? Didn't we watch the wild card game or something? I could have sworn it was you and me.
But the A's played.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
I've never been to a playoff game where the A's weren't in the game.
Okay.
So I'll be watching another team.
You'll be watching Giants Dodgers more than likely.
Yeah. So this is going to be my first road playoff game as well.
It should be fun.
Very excited. Very, very excited. So this is something that I asked you, and I'm really, really curious.
Yeah.
What your answer is. And the NL I'll get to in a second. But I've loved these races for the awards more than, and don't get me wrong, the Dodgers Giants race has been amazing. But these races for the awards, some of these are so close.
Yeah.
Who do you think? Okay, now I'm going to structure this question. The way I structure this question is, who do you think is going to win the AL Cy Young? Not who do you think who deserves it. Who do you think, based on the writers, will win the American League Cy Young?
I'm going Robbie Ray.
You think the writers are going to vote Robbie Ray?
Yeah.
Okay. I hope so, because this is who I want to win the Cy Young. Is this who you would want to win the Cy Young?
Yeah, I think so. And with Garrett Cole, obviously Garrett Cole is again just having another great season. And kudos to him for making that bounce back, off of the spider tack shit. His season could have fell off like Darvish. Not saying Darvish was using the sticky stuff, but ever since that happened, his numbers have not been great. But again, with the writers, I think the hype, Robbie Ray is it. I think he's had a great season. The impact that he's made on the Blue Jays, they'll take that into account. He's up there in wins. ERA is phenomenal. Robbie Ray. That's who I think will win.
I hope so. I disagree with you. I think Garrett Cole will win. However, I don't want Garrett Cole to win. And look, I've been a fan of Garrett Cole.
Take this into account, right? The writers, again, integrity. This man got caught with spider tack.
So this is where I'm going with it. That's exactly where I'm going with it.
Mm.
But I think they're going to discount the spider tack because I feel like it has kind of been pushed under the rug more than any other scandal.
Fucking let Barry Bonds in the Hall of Fame.
Thank you.
I'm just like,
Thank you. But that's what I'm getting at. And I was hoping you were going to say Garrett Cole. That was my goal. Is I was hoping you were going to say Garrett Cole because I do truthfully think that Garrett Cole will win it.
Mm.
And it would be such a slap in the face of Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, because these same writers who vote for the awards are also voting for the Hall of Fame. And look, you can go either way with this, but you can argue that spider tack has more impact on your pitching than steroids do. Now, it depends on how you look at things, because if you're a pitcher, your recovery time is very, very important, and that's where the steroids come in. But also the movement on your pitch is very, very important, and that's where the spider tack comes in. So you could go either way on those, but either way, spider tack has a very, very big impact on the way you pitch. And now Garrett Cole has had a great year.
Yeah.
And a majority of it, he has not been using spider tack. And I realize that. However, he has came out and said he has used it.
I mean, this dude got fucking caught. Deer in headlights.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone saw that video. I mean,
oh shit. But yeah, so I hope it's Robbie Ray. I don't mean to take away from Robbie Ray. I've been a Robbie Ray fan for quite a while.
Oh yeah, you have.
Loved Robbie Ray even when he had like a 4 or 5 ERA with the Diamondbacks, because of how much he gets strikeouts, and it's everything's clicking finally. So good for Robbie Ray.
Yeah, good for him. And talk about slap of the face. Now fucking Major League Baseball is allowing like betting booths. Hey, Pete Rose, fuck off, right? Like that
was a good point. I wanted to bring that up, but yeah, very good point.
I like oh jeez, dude.
What,
like
is MLB two-faced? Like, is that what you're saying?
Oh, surprise. I don't know, maybe.
Oh geez.
Dude, I feel bad for the guy. Like, just let him in. You know, I think here's the thing. I think what's gonna happen is Major League Baseball is, I hate to say it and it sounds very rude and I apologize, but Major League Baseball is going to let him die and then they'll induct him. That's probably what they're gonna do. I don't think they're gonna allow him to speak or anything like that. I think they want him to pass and then they'll induct him. That's what I feel might happen. It's a shitty take, and it's horrible to say.
No, it's not a shitty,
but
it's not a shitty take.
I feel like that's how Major League Baseball is.
So you're telling me the place of integrity won't show integrity. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
I'll just leave it at that.
Oh man.
NL Cy Young, I think we've talked about it plenty.
I mean, and just for clarification, obviously we had our initial predictions, right? We're still sticking with that, but just going with
mine was.
I had Walker Buehler.
Yes.
And then we had another go around, and you asked me, is it going to be Corbin Burns or DeGrom?
And
then I said, huh?
You said DeGrom.
I said Burns.
You said DeGrom originally.
No.
And then, yeah, listen to that episode again. You said DeGrom, and then you're like, no, fuck it. I'm going to go with Burns. You did say that.
Okay. Yeah.
Your final answer, I'm pretty sure it was Corbin Burns.
Yeah, it was Corbin Burns. But yeah, okay. But just for clarification, context, we're just going with what we're seeing now. Obviously, we're going to stick with what we predicted, right? Like, hopefully that happens. If it doesn't, but we're just trying to give you some updates in terms of what's going on with baseball. I think now, just based off of everything with all the data that we've collected, I think Max Scherzer is going to win it.
That is not a bad take. I think his ERA, no, I don't think. I know his ERA in his last 5 starts is 0. He has not given up a run in his last 5 starts.
Has he even lost with the Dodgers? No.
I don't know if he has, but I know in his time in LA, hitters are only batting like 100 off of him.
Yeah. And again, with the who I think will win is Scherzer, who I think deserves it. And just going back to what you mentioned, I think Adam Wainwright should deserve it. I mean, there's a lot of pitchers on this list.
There's a lot.
There's it, but I think Wainwright, I mean, he's had such a great year. I mean, the dude is, he's up there in age and he's still being able to compete.
Dominate.
I mean, 2.84 ERA, 16 wins. Like that's already like that right there.
You don't have to go any deeper. That's already
it,
great.
So, yeah, just Scherzer's he gonna steal that.
He might. Let's just say if the Dodgers end up winning the first place wild card, I really feel bad for the Reds or the Padres or whoever the fuck wants to show up that day.
I really hope that Roberts does not fucking try to overthink this. You need to pitch Scherzer. You can't start your relief pitchers. You can't start Buehler.
No, they wouldn't do that.
Can't start Urias. You need to start Scherzer. Like you need to. That it's plain and simple. If you do not start Scherzer, there could be a chance for the other team. But if you start Scherzer, game's done. Game's done.
Yeah. Thanks for coming. Scherzer starts the game and it's over.
They might even forfeit before he even play.
The motherfucker might throw a fucking no-hitter on a wild card game.
Yep.
You heard it here first.
Mm-hmm.
You go ahead and ask this one because I don't know what the fuck you mean by this.
Oh yeah, I mean, are we going to have a Triple Crown winner this year? And is it going to be separate from an MVP? So are we going to have 2 people? Like, is it going to be, obviously Ohtani's not going to get the Triple Crown. I don't think he would. But I think it's possible that Vladdy could get the Triple Crown. Although RBIs, he's fairly behind Salvador Perez, who's leading, I believe, in the AL in RBIs. But there's still a chance, for him to get the Triple Crown. Still some slight chance. And MVP is more than likely going to be Ohtani. So I was just asking you, is that
will be Shohei Ohtani? I don't think Vladdy wins the Triple Crown.
Dude,
I think that's more so the question that you're asking is Vladdy going to win the Triple Crown? No, nobody else is going to win the MVP outside of Shohei Ohtani. I don't mean to jinx this or throw this out there, but if Shohei Ohtani were to go on the IL the rest of the year, he still wins the MVP.
That's true.
That's
Vladdy's 8 RBIs behind Salvador Perez, who's the leader in RBIs. He's 104 RBIs. And,
what's Vladdy's average?
Batting average? 318.
Not too shabby.
Leads the league in home runs. You know who's under him? Who's right behind him?
In homers?
Yeah.
Salvador Perez. Salvador Perez leads.
Crazy.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying. You were giving me shit about Salvador Perez potentially being an MVP candidate, and
okay, you want to talk about that? Then
I get it.
In the top 3.
He's definitely top 5, right? But you could you could throw Simeon in there.
Simeon's 3rd.
I think there's bias in that answer, but that's fine.
I'm willing to bet you $100 right now that Simeon is in the top 3 and Salvador Perez is not.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's do it.
$100.
Yeah, fuck it.
$100.
All right, perfect.
Deal. You heard it here. Episode 37.
All right, perfect. Let's do it. Oh, this
watch for some fucking reason Salvador Perez pulls this off.
Neither of them are even in there. Like
I know Matt Olson gets 3rd.
What? Yeah,
for shits and giggles.
Man. But yeah. I'm hopeful for Vladdy. I think this would be great. I mean, he's so young. I don't know. I'm just hoping for it. Yeah, I haven't seen it in a while, so fingers crossed. Will it happen? More than likely not, but
I mean,
yeah,
this is a good
I was just
segue
curious.
for our I just want to be appreciated segment.
Oh, yep.
Salvador Perez. I mean,
Mhm.
why the hell not, dude? They finally called it official that it's the most home runs as a catcher. He tied Johnny Bench. I don't think he's passed him yet.
He more than likely will be, but
Yeah, by the time this is out, I'm sure he's probably hit a homer.
I mean, we've got like 2 more weeks of baseball, right? So he's got to hit a couple more. Yeah, but I mean, what a season for him. I mean, even here's the other thing.
We have breaking news. We had a comment on our Chris Bassett post, a new one, and it said our thoughts, but we need them views.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Breaking news.
So that's just jumping into grinding my gears. So we talked about this time and time again. We're here to bring awareness. We're gonna post whatever needs to be posted, but honestly, I did not expect that video of Chris Bassett
all
getting
of
hit.
our videos.
I did not expect it. Where are we at in terms of views? Let me take a look. I think I mean, it's just we literally had no intention of this blowing up. Literally no intention. Where is this post? Okay, we had 2 million views. 2 million views. All right. I have no answer for you in that regard. I did not expect 2 million fucking people to view that video. That was just, dude, we barely, I mean, I was going to give us a shout out. We barely got to 200 fucking followers. And like, there was no intent to fucking get views. Like it was just bringing awareness. If you look at our posts, like it's just bringing awareness. Holy shit. Cedric Mullins just made a nice play. Fucking, hey, Trevor Bauer getting accused of sexual harassment.
We just posted the umpire getting hit in that Mets game in the face.
Yep.
And we haven't got any shit about posting that one.
Yeah.
We didn't do that one for views either.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous.
I'm going to clip this. I'm going to clip this and post it because we're doing this for awareness. Hey, do we get followers in the end? Potentially, yeah. But again, it's just awareness. We're just two buddies talking baseball. It'd be great. Like the reason why we want to grow in our following is to just bring awareness and really just grow this community and kind of change people's mindsets. But we're not getting paid for this.
No, that we're not in it for the money. We've never been
for the money. Like it's just,
I haven't made a penny. I haven't made a penny off of this podcast.
You don't see no fucking ads. You don't see us doing any ads. Yeah, exactly. I mean,
we've never made one fucking penny off of this.
Will we get paid maybe 2-3 years from now? I fucking don't know. Would it be nice? Maybe, but at the end of the day, we're still gonna be the same people bringing awareness. So
yeah, that's still the goal.
Breaking news. I'm glad you brought that shit up because it pisses me off that people will actually think that that we're just doing it for views. Like it's for people, dude. I can tell you right now, the people that follow us literally only either follow the Giants or the A's, or they're only focused on one specific team. There's people that are like, holy shit, there were people, oh my gosh, this guy got hit by a baseball. Like this happened a month ago, and people are still like, oh my gosh, hopefully he is okay. Well, yeah, he recovered already. He's going to be pitching soon.
So we can't control the algorithm. So these guys are seeing it like if we just posted it 5 minutes ago.
I'm not even going to comment back. Like, just let them.
No, don't. Let them beef it out.
Most of the time, I let them be. I'll comment like, hey, like great perspective, and this is where we're coming from, whatever. But I'm not going to comment to that guy.
No, fuck that.
Hey, if he listens to the podcast, he'll know. He should be. Maybe he might be an avid listener.
He did it for views. He did it for views, for listens, because we're talking about this guy.
Exactly.
So shout out. A little early shout out. Shout out to you. Not even gonna put your at in here, but shout out to you. You know who you are.
Exactly. We digress. Oh man. That's so funny.
Geez. But good for Salvador Perez. That's where
Yeah,
we're at.
exactly.
Good year. Good year.
Who would have thought? I mean, he was even in the home run derby, and he was giving people a scare, like, holy shit, this dude's actually hitting home runs. Like, what's going on?
I thought he was going to be one of those first half studs, and then one of those that just like, all right, the dude's hitting like 211 now. Can we just move on? But he hasn't. He's produced all year.
Exactly.
Probably the best hitting performance by a catcher in a long time.
True.
Kind of talked about some of these things. Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, you briefly touched on it, but like Starling Marte, just want to give him a shout out. He's been having a great season. Unfortunately, he doesn't necessarily qualify for at bats with average, but I mean, his average is through the roof.
Right now, he leads all of baseball in batting average, though this is not a qualified start. Qualified stat because he hasn't had enough appearances in either league. Not the man's fault. But he also leads in stolen bases in both leagues, not individually, but if you put it all together. Only two other people have done that. They are both in the Hall of Fame, Ty Cobb and Honus Wagner, which is, if you ever link to those two names, you're probably doing something pretty good.
Baseball wise.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so shout out to him. He needs some more appreciation. That was the best pickup, though he might not have had as much impact on the team per se as we would all hope. Who knows? If he's not on the team, maybe they're not, with these pitching woes that they've had, they might not even be 3 games out. They might be 13 games out.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, he's building up his resume for quite a contract.
Don't remind me. I'll enjoy it while I can.
Yeah, exactly.
He's gonna look fucking great in a different uniform.
Any uniform. Yeah. So Juan, who's taking that second spot? We already know the Dodgers or Giants are gonna, obviously they're gonna take that spot. Flip flop, whatever. But who's taking that second spot?
I truthfully think it's gonna be the Padres. But okay, no. Okay,
I disagree with you.
Let me back up.
I disagree with you.
Let me back up. That is not my final answer.
Okay.
I want it to be the Padres. So imagine this, right? The main event to start this motherfucker off, right? We've been talking about the Padres and the Dodgers since the beginning of the year. Like, we can't wait to see them, go head to head in the division. In come the Giants and say, fuck you to both of you guys, right?
Yep.
But how great would it be to start off with the main event? Like, if you're a WWE fan, if you're a boxing fan, if you're a UFC, this is the equivalent of that last match that you paid for, your pay-per-view. Most pay-per-views that you're paying for, you don't give 2 shits about the first 3 fights. There are some, I get that, but put that fight that you really give a shit about right at the beginning. That's what the Dodgers and Padres would be. Now, to answer your question, who I think will do it, it is my former team, the St. Louis Cardinals.
Dude, I mean, talk about momentum. I mean, it's just
good for them.
Yeah, really good. I think I mentioned this before, but the Cardinals just
they just fucking win.
They just wiggle around every year. They just fucking wiggle around and
what is the last time they've had a losing season? I have no idea the last time that they've had a losing season.
I don't know, dude. It's kind of crazy, dude. The Cardinals, man. I don't think the Reds, even though the Reds have a easier schedule than the Padres, I still don't believe that they'll be able to.
I'm not in on the
pull
Reds.
It off. No,
I'm not in on the Reds. Their pitching is just meh.
I mean, yeah. Castillo kind of shut down the Dodgers yesterday, but
it was 3-1 though. A win is a win. Do not get me wrong.
3-1. I mean, think about that. It wasn't 3-1. It was a high scoring game. Castillo did that to you guys or us actually. But honestly, I would.
How did last night go for them?
Yeah.
How is today?
Yeah, no, today Dodgers won. Dodgers won today. But
just making sure.
I think the only team I'm afraid of for the Dodgers in reality is the Padres. It'd be
I
great for the
disagree with that.
Cardinals. I think it'd be great for the Cardinals to get in, but I don't think the
I
Dodgers.
can see Adam Wainwright pitching 8 innings against the
Scherzer
Dodgers.
and Wainwright. Oh my God.
Oh, we would be in for a treat. We would be in for a treat. Here's the thing with the Padres is they'd probably start Blake Snell, who has been amazing since the A's lit him up. The A's lit him up when they were in San Diego, and he's been great ever since. But we've seen the inconsistency of Blake Snell all year round. And if that's who you're going to start, my money would be on the Dodgers. I mean, who else would they start? They're not going to start Darvish. Jake Arrieta, please do us the favor. Is he still with the team? I don't even fucking know.
No, I think he pitched yesterday, bro. I think he pitched yesterday. I could be wrong. But not yesterday. You're right. And so your final answer is
the Cardinals.
As the Cardinals. Okay, I'm just trying to understand. I'm like, wait,
I went through a lot of hoops, but my final answer is the Cardinals. I want it to be the Padres, but my final answer is the Cardinals.
Okay. I think I'm in there with you. Definitely not the Reds, guaranteed. Nope. But the Padres could. I mean, they could be the Dodgers come regular season. I think they play them next week, right? Something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
So we'll see. But Cardinals for sure.
The AL Wildcard. So for me, this one is funny because it's which team is less shitty. So it's, in my opinion, it's the Blue Jays versus which team is not going to be shitty. Is it the Red Sox? Is it the Yankees? Or is it the A's? I don't include the Mariners in that. I don't think they're legit. I'm not buying in on them. I know they're right there, right behind the A's, but no, I'm sleeping on the Mariners. I'm pretty much sleeping on the A's. I don't think they get in. However, are we still 3 games back? Or are we 2 games back?
You guys are 2.5 games back.
2.5 games back. We are playing the Angels, which we have been 13-4 all year against. So I do like this series to pad our lead. However, this bullpen has been absolute shit. So yeah, I think it could really go any way. I mean, the Yankees have not been good ever since they had their winning streak. You're welcome. The A's took care of that. The Red Sox have been decent. I feel like the Red Sox have been winning like their last 4 or 5 games, but before that they were struggling. The COVID bug has hit the Red Sox hard. And yeah, we didn't really talk about this, but the Hunter Renfroe fucking dilemma. But my final answer here.
I know we weren't going to talk about it, but just you guys can read on it. But pretty much Hunter Renfroe pretty much said that Major League Baseball told them to not test anymore. But you guys can read on it. We're not going to give our opinion on that type of stuff. But
I will. I will. You want us to do something for views? Here's one for fucking views. Hold my beer.
Oh my God.
I think Hunter Renfroe heard this, but I don't know who he heard it from. I don't think he heard it per se from an actual MLB like official. I think he probably heard it from someone like kind of joking, like, "Oh, you motherfuckers should stop testing at this point," right? I think that's more so what it was. Or somebody told him, like, "Oh yeah,
a friend of a friend
me." Yeah, exactly.
My cousin's friend.
Yeah. I don't know. The poor guy kind of got shunned by the Red Sox because the Red Sox came out with this is incorrect. He was wrong, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Like, poor guy, first year in Boston, and he's already like getting thrown to the media fire because that's a shitty place as far as media goes. And I shouldn't say shitty, but just a hard place.
No, it's you got to have thick skin to
Mhm,
play there,
mhm.
So
So for me, it's just like throwing them to the wolves.
mhm.
So I don't know,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't be surprised about a little collusion because let's
Hey,
be real.
yeah.
Who do you think MLB wants to be in the AL wildcard? The Red Sox and the Yankees. That's
Mhm.
exactly who MLB wants in.
Oh, yeah, they're just fucking
Hmm. Oh,
dude. You know how many views? Yeah, you know how many just how much? I mean, those games are gonna be sold out. Think about it. If the Blue Jays win, in reality, it's in Toronto, correct?
yes, correct.
So a lot of people, I'm not sure with the traveling and everything, but it's been kind of hard to go there.
I
If
don't
you,
believe you can go into Canada.
yeah. So
I could be
I
wrong.
I I could be wrong too, but there's there is something there because think about it. If the Blue Jays take that right, then I mean I don't think it's gonna be. I mean, it could be sold out just from Blue Jays fans, but I don't know. It's just I don't think the sales will be there completely. I think they want, yeah.
It'll be sold out, dude. It'll
No,
be fucking sold
but
out.
I think they want Red Sox Yankees.
Oh,
I
of
mean,
course they want the
what
Red
a
Sox
fucking
Yankees.
what a
It's so my final answer for this question is the Jays and the Red Sox.
yeah.
Unfortunately,
Yeah. I Jays for sure.
it could go any way for that second one.
Yeah,
We're definitely in agreement on the Jays, and it's going to be in Toronto.
and the crazy thing, it's unfortunate. I wish the White Sox had a better record so that way they could lose to whatever team they play out of the wild card spot because that's reality. The Yankees are going to beat them. The Blue Jays are going to beat them. The Red Sox are going to beat them.
It's and I could get into a really bad digression. Um, it's time to change the playoffs and how we get into the playoffs because I'm tired of seeing the best teams being left out.
Mm,
And I'm tired of this shitty division stuff. Sometimes it works out, right? The Giants and Dodgers has been amazing, but dude, the reality of it is the Dodgers are going to win over 100 games and they're more than likely going to be in a wild card game. Now, I am willing to bet my money that they win
mhm.
said wild card game, but there is a chance that they lose that game. And the second best team in baseball is going to be out of the playoffs after the wild card game. And to me, that's not fair. And okay, yes, you're in the playoffs. You got to win.
Well, if you're fucking, if you,
Yeah, if you won the division,
yeah.
but the Dodgers would then not have a playoff spot over the Braves, who have been shitty all year round until the trade deadline.
Mm.
Which shout out to my Braves. Okay, I'm not disrespecting my
I
Braves.
mean,
However,
it is the weakest division in Major League Baseball, right? Right?
nope, nope. I will die by the NL Central is the shittiest team, shittiest division.
Oh my God.
Shittiest division
But
is the NL
I see
Central.
where you're coming from. I think one way to mitigate this is like a 3-game series. That because when we talk about like the progression, obviously, I think actually mention your idea because I think did you mention it already in terms of
No, I just kind of foreshadowed it. I think the best idea is however many playoff teams, and I know they're working on this, and this is going to change this offseason. Be prepared. We will talk about it as soon as it's official. But there is going to be a new playoff structure. And if there's more teams, say it's the top 7 teams from each league. 7 teams are in the playoffs in each league. It should be the top 7 teams, no matter what division they're in. I would hate to see, and it can happen, you talk about all this tanking that we keep seeing continuously. The AL West is really up for grabs. What if the Astros are going to lose some key players next year? What if the Astros tank next year? And then the A's, who just missed the playoffs, well, they tank too. Well, the Angels have been shitty for how long? And they tank. And the Mariners, who the fuck knows what they do, right? So now we got this whole AL West of nothing but tank teams. Well, whoever's the least shitty has to win the division. You
Mm.
could ideally have someone win the division with 84, 83 wins
Mm-hmm.
versus you have a dog pile in the AL East of the Rays, Yankees, and Red Sox, and maybe one of those teams doesn't make it because of the whole division fucking dynamics. So I don't know.
No, I mean, think about it. The Padres
Are
are
going to miss the
70
playoffs.
are 76 and 71, right? And then you
Mhm.
look at the Braves are 76 and 69. So
Pretty much the same record.
yeah, and the Padres are in third place and will potentially miss the wild card, right? It's kind
Correct.
of crazy.
Well, the Braves get a 5-game series guaranteed to them.
Yep.
And it's not the Padres' fault that they play in the best division in baseball.
Yeah, something needs to change. I think there could be that 3-game series in the wild card.
I think it would be more fun. Think about the rivals that would be created, right? You know, and it's been great for the A's and the Astros, this newer rivalry, because they're new to our division. But it would be fun to see a random rivalry of the White Sox and the Yankees,
Mm.
or the Giants and the Cardinals, or the Dodgers and the Brewers. So, you know, just random rivalries just because they're good and not necessarily because they're in the same division.
So kind of having it like the NBA, right? Because
Yeah,
NBA
does this.
is just it's the top 8 teams
Correct.
on both sides. Okay, I think, I mean, who really? I think that could work. It's just like, I mean, do divisions really define your team? You know, I don't. I feel like the NBA structure could benefit.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. I mean, at the end of the day, everyone plays everyone, you know, for the most part, right?
Yeah,
So
and if you want to talk about, like, you know, the A's play the Astros and the Rangers and Angels the most in one season, it will, you know, if it becomes a travel thing, which I understand travel is difficult, then why don't you restructure, you know, they could still, I'm fine with them staying in a division per se, quote unquote, but
just the
they could,
best.
the best 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever, however they want to define that, the best teams make the postseason.
Yeah, and even with the NBA, you know, especially towards the end of the season, that 8th spot is fucking hot.
Crazy.
It's
Mm-hmm.
it's
You
exciting.
usually have 3-4 teams playing for that 8th spot.
That is true. I mean, in reality, the wild card kind of is like that, right? Because the wild card is it neglects the division. It's just the record. So
Correct.
in reality, I mean, the wild card is still following that structure that we're striving for. But overall, I think, yeah, it is true. It's kind of fucked up that the Padres might miss the playoffs
The
because of the
Padres might
division.
have more wins at the end of the season than the Braves. And
Yeah,
like I said, the Braves are guaranteed um, a 5-game series.
that's true. That's true. Things to think about. I think, yeah, I agree with you though. There needs to be a change in that. And speaking of changes, uh, just for me, I think the extra inning rule should not be in effect come playoff time.
Yep.
I get the, you know, the timing and everything like that, the pace of play, but I really think that should not be in effect come playoff time. It's kind of just being lucky. I mean, to an extent, right? Does it require some skill? Yes, but in reality, you have a man on fucking second. You have a pitcher that maybe he pitches from the windup. He's not, you know, he doesn't pitch from the stretch, right? Like that, all that comes into play. So, will it happen? Probably not. But I'm
No.
just throwing it out there that it would be nice to get to an extra inning game, and especially come playoff time, nobody's gonna leave. Who the fuck is
No.
gonna leave a big game like a
Not me.
Dodgers Padres, right? Fucking the 12th inning, and they win legit. It's a legit win. It's not because the man was on fucking second and you walked the person on first and the catcher threw to first, threw past first, the guy on second scores. Some bullshit like that. I don't know. But I want a legit game. I want a legit fucking you earn that run. But yeah, just wanted to throw that out there in terms of change.
Love that. Love that.
Man, we've been talking for quite some time. We have it's a bulky because we've been missing, but we can kind of just run through this. Just a little game of what if. We don't have to talk about the second one, but really just Mike Trout. I mean, what would happen to the Angels if he was still in the lineup? And also, what would happen to the MVP race if he was still
nothing
in there? Nothing at all.
No. I'm ready to dethrone Mike Trout as the best player in the game. I am all in on the Ohtani juice.
After 1 year, huh?
This isn't 1 year.
He's had decent years. This is his best year for sure.
Agreed.
But that's
so say Mike Trout is healthy.
You're basically saying that Vladdy is better than Mike Trout.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Not at all.
That you're basing
that's
out
not what I'm
1
saying.
year. What do you say then? Go on.
Here's what I'm saying. Say Mike Trout hits. What would you say he hits? How many homers does he hit if he's healthy this year?
Yeah, I would, at the bare minimum, 30.
Okay. Hits 3. Let's call it 340. Fuck it.
Okay, that's maybe 315. Let's
okay, 315.
Okay, yep.
How many ribbies? 105.
Yeah.
Shitty team, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Ohtani has the year that he has 40 plus homers, batting 270, 100 plus RBIs. Offensively, yes, 100% Mike Trout better. Now, how many strikeouts does Mike Trout have?
Oh my fucking gosh.
And how many wins does Mike Trout have? Dude, so you want to talk about, okay, hold on. I'm not done. Most valuable player. Now, how fucking valuable if your team's best player was also your best pitcher? How valuable would that player be if they were also the best pitcher on the team? If Matt Olson, now imagine Matt Olson, he pitches and he wins 50, even if it was only 15 games. Chris Bryant on the Giants. I can name your favorite player on any team.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if he won 15 games and had a 3 ERA and struck out 160 guys in the year. That's pretty fucking good. So yeah, Shohei Ohtani is the best player in game. And I'm sleeping on Mike Trout. He wouldn't have won the MVP. If Ohtani has the same exact year that he does this year, and Mike Trout has a typical Mike Trout year, Shohei Ohtani would win the MVP.
Okay. I will what's the word? Concur or some shit. Yeah.
Here it comes.
I know. I think that's a good perspective. I'm not gonna argue with you in that regard. I think it's up in the air. I think you're more than right, because again, like, I mean, who pitches and hits, right? Dude, his WAR has to be fucking crazy, right?
Oh my god.
I have to pull this up.
What's crazy is Marcus. I don't know now, but I think Marcus Semien had a higher WAR.
Really?
At one point during this season.
That's kind of crazy. Well, 7 was it 7.7? WAR. Huh. Yeah.
While you're looking that up, I want to elaborate. I'm not saying that Mike Trout isn't the best hitter in baseball. What I'm saying is Shohei Ohtani is the best all-around player, and there is a difference. There is a big difference.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. All right. We'll agree to disagree. And I'm just playing. That's a good no, you brought up some good points. I'm not gonna argue that. We already talked about the throwing of Ohtani. Just to touch on, there was a YouTube game yesterday. It was super exciting. I think there's like 70,000 people watching the game.
Love that. For an A's Angels game,
love it.
For a team that doesn't get the love, either one of those teams. You know, I know
Yeah.
Ohtani and Trout, we're talking about them, but
Mhm.
it's more so individual at that point. So
Yeah.
love to see that many people watching it.
Just
But
change the commentators, please.
yeah, you know, when you got Tom Verducci, and I haven't liked
Oh
Tom
my
Verducci
God.
since this fucking Hall of Fame speech. But you have Tom Verducci talking about since players wear so much padding on their
Protective gear.
elbows, their shins, right? That if they get hit in that protective gear, that it should just be a ball. Like, what? You literally just hit me. It is not my job to move out of the way of the baseball. I hope you know that. For you dumb pitchers listening at home, shout out to Soto. If you throw it near me, I am not moving. And I'm so tired of hearing, oh, the hitter should move out of the way. No, you should throw the fucking pitch in the strike zone. Stop being a little bitch. Throw it in the strike zone so I can hit. The game of baseball is to allow the hitter to hit, right? Or at least a chance. If you throw at me, I'm going to take my free base every single time. I have a better chance of scoring a run if I'm at first versus if I'm at the plate.
Exactly. Hey, Mr. Verducci, what happens when they intentionally fucking throw at you like Ohtani and he has protective gear? Well, you want us to make a roll? Hey, Ohtani, I'm gonna throw at you. Okay, so this is gonna count as a ball. All right, just because you know I'm gonna throw at you. I'm just telling you right now.
Well, what do you classify that on his head? That's a helmet, which is protective gear, which is padding.
Exactly.
So if I throw at your head and it hits you, that's a ball. That's you ain't getting your base.
I told you I was gonna hit you. It was a ball.
It's a ball. Ball one.
Oh my God. Yeah,
what
that
a
was
fucking
probably
joke this guy is.
That was a fucking one of the worst takes I've ever heard in my life.
And to hear it on a game that 72,000 people are watching,
I can guarantee you maybe 20,000 are like, yeah, you know what?
That's not a bad idea.
That's not a bad
they wear
idea.
Too much padding.
Hey, let me take that to my little league and we'll make that a rule and test it out. That's yeah. Not the best.
And he's smart.
He's a great
coach.
writer. Great. I think Verducci is a great writer in that regard. Yeah, he's made some verbally he has said some stupid shit. His interviews are not the best, but when it comes to actually writing, I think he can articulate a great fucking article. It's just things like this. It just gets under your skin.
Just a bad take. Shout out to Scott Braun or Justin Braun. I think
it's Scott. It could be Scott. Braun. He was good. I like him. Yeah, I like him.
He's a good commentator. Love him. But Verducci can go.
Yeah, and then do we want? Okay, just briefly touch on it. So this is the last thing. You know, we always have to talk about this negative stuff, you know, before we dive into our shout outs. It's kind of like it's a necessary evil, you know.
There's rain before the rainbow.
Yeah. So going back to like what grinds my gears are our gears. You know, we talked about the Ohtani thing, we talked about the Verducci thing, we talked about like baseball fans, and you know, sometimes they get a little too crazy, too serious in that regard. So I posted something about the Dodgers. You know, I think it's what has it been? I think it's maybe like 7 consecutive years where they've made nine. Yeah, sorry, they made 9 consecutive appearances in the postseason. So I got a message from someone, and you know, they was like, oh, and this person is a Giants fan, so I'll just read what this person says. And they only won one ? It was a 60-game season that they won. Put up real stats. Check my story, homie. So I did not mention anything about the Giants. I did not mention anything about the A's. But this person just wanted to get under my skin, and he didn't. It is what it is. It's kind of funny. I'm just bringing it up here because this is just the shit that we hear. It's just kind of funny. But again, it's just one of these things that it doesn't get under my skin. It just kind of like grinds my gears in terms of like, dude, like, you really think that was gonna affect me? Like, you thought I was gonna fucking argue with you or something? I just said, oh,
That's
good. I just said,
that's what they
good point.
wanted.
That's what they wanted, but in reality, it's like, oh, okay, cool. Now I'm gonna bring this up on my podcast and talk about it. But it's like, I don't know. It's just funny that like people really define their lives by a team, and I just wish the best for our fans here. Just really just love baseball. So I don't even know why I put it under our grinds our gears. I think it was just kind of one of those things that like wanted to bring awareness. Like, we're getting these messages, and it's kind of funny that people really think like we're gonna get bothered by it, like it's gonna hurt my fucking feelings. It's just, I just had to bring it up because we'll call you
And
out. We're not afraid to call you out.
and disclaimer, Soto is a Giants fan.
Yeah,
So
exactly. It's like, come
that's the
on.
best part of this. It would be like, what if I did that, right? If I now it's different if they were attacking me, but they're attacking you, who's a damn Giants fan.
Exactly. But it's funny, but we have to. I'm not afraid to call people out here.
No.
Does it bother me? Fuck no. But is it fun calling you out? Fuck yes. Especially on a platform where people actually listen. So just had to throw that out there. But shout outs. Great transition to shout outs.
Let's do it.
Let's start with you, bro, because this is the one that you sent me this. I think it's super awesome. I read those tweets. And yeah, just you go ahead.
This is a guy I've been a fan of for a while, and I've always wanted to see him succeed. He unfortunately didn't or hasn't yet. He's attempting his comeback. Stanford great Mark Appel. So he was drafted 8th overall by the Pirates and was given the opportunity to play for the Pirates, and he said no. And he talks about this in this thread, and go look at his tweets on Twitter and you'll see what I'm talking about. He talks about on his thread, wasn't about the money. It was just about what he thought he could do, that he thought he was better than an 8th overall.
Okay. And the other thing, just to give you perspective, at that point in time, it was more than money, right? The offer that they gave him, it's $3.8 million. That was the offer that the Pirates gave him. But he said in this tweet, and I'll read it for you because I have it up. He said, it's the titling of this specific tweet says, "Know your priorities." He's like, a lot of people thought I just did it because of the money, but on this one may be contrary to the tweet before. He's like, many thought I declined the Pirates offer because of money, but these were bigger factors. He said 1, relationships, 2, education, and 3, chasing a dream. I still consider all of these more valuable than money. So he had 3 things on top of his priority list before even the money. Grant, he could have thrown in it was the Pirates too, but but I mean, if you think about it, right, that education piece, right? This dude's at Stanford. Why not get the best education you can? Stanford is one of the best colleges in the world, I would say. And to get the education, right, and to do that, and relationships, right, when we talk about that, maybe it wasn't the right time for the family, right? Maybe there's things that were going on in his life that he can't bring up necessarily, but again, like, just wanted to add that tweet to give everyone to context. So go ahead, Juan.
Yeah,
and so he just tweets here.
No, he just talks about overall that he's on his way back. He left the game of baseball, and I don't think he had an intention to come back, but he's working to come back. And he talks about his struggles and what brought him back and what he's striving for. And in his profile, he was called the biggest. I think it was by
more likely ESPN or something. They typically write shit like that. I don't think it was
ESPN, but it doesn't matter. I think it was Bleacher Report. Bleacher Report called him the biggest bust in baseball of all time, and he took that personal. Shout out Michael Jordan. But he did truly. He took that personal and let him. It motivated him to want to be better, want to do better, not just as a player, but just as a person. And for me, it really touched home because, and I tweeted this to him is, I love seeing the growth as a baseball player, but more importantly, I love seeing the growth as a person, as an individual. And you could see it, right? I've seen the quote unquote bust that happen, and people don't understand the pressure of being a 1-1 or just period in the first round,
Mm-hmm.
right? You think about how many fans grow to hate one person because they didn't become who a team or fans thought they were going to become, and I'm guilty of this because I think about how many A's first round picks that we've wasted on, Grant Green, Michael Choice, the list goes on of these players that have just never really done anything. And that pressure can be felt by them, not
Mm-hmm.
from me specifically, but from thousands of me, right? Thousands of fans in a certain fan base. Not to mention coaches, family, people that are depending on these people. I digress, but there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
pressure when you are drafted in the first round, and specifically 1-1. Um, but
Exactly.
but shout out to him raising awareness, kind of being open and honest to the world when he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to prove anyone anything. But he wants to be there. I hope someone reads this and takes it personally, because you could apply these things to your day-to-day life, and
Mm-hmm.
and that's what I love. And we talk about it over and over again, grow the game, right? um but this helps grow the game in a different way, a different form. um Growing the individuals that play baseball, that watch baseball, and that's what it's all about, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I again, like, just huge shout out. I read those tweets, and what a great mind, right? The way he structured the tweets in itself, like, just goes to show like how intellectual this person is. Like, I felt like I was reading a book almost. Like the way
Yeah.
he was, like the way he had these tweets, it was structured so well. Like I truly felt like what he was talking about. One thing that I think the biggest takeaway for me out of all the tweets, um, was one is don't be afraid to take a break. He
Hmm.
says by January 2018, I had been hurt for the majority of 2 years. I was physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually drained. It was time for a break. If you're burnt out, take a break. You can pick up again when you're ready. And I think that resonates with, I think, both of us,
Yep.
because we have this podcast, we have work, we have wives now, we have our lives. There's just so many things. Obviously, we're not fucking athletic specimens like him, but this applies to everyone because
In
everyone
different
has.
forms.
Exactly.
And that part specifically, I've this is something that I've struggled with, and I'm going to open up here. Being 26 years old and just now getting my bachelorette, right? And it's taken me so long, but it doesn't matter. Everyone
Mhm.
goes at their own pace. And if you need to take a break, if you need to take longer, like, at the end of the day, all that matters is you get shit done. And if you get the
Exactly.
shit done that you want to get done, not what people put expectations on, but just what you want to accomplish for yourself, that's what matters.
Exactly.
So,
No, I'm 100% with
big
you. I
shout
think,
out to Mark Appel.
yeah, I touch on another one because this one
Yeah.
resonated with me. I know
Yes.
we're digressing at this
Yeah.
point.
Fuck it.
The other tweet that resonated is it's okay to not be okay. Um,
Mm.
in this tweet, he shows a literal picture of
Oh yeah, the clubhouse
the
of his
clubhouse
locker.
of his locker, and there's literal holes. He punched the lock. He punched the
Oh,
wall. He literally
this one
put.
should hit home with you.
Yeah, yeah, but like I mean, talk about like truly showing what you're going through, but there's a picture there, and he says in 2014 I experienced depression for the first time in my life. After a stretch of terrible games, I broke down and destroyed a locker room wall. He's like, when the dust settled, even though I wasn't okay, I knew my life would be. So again, like, I mean, it's just awesome to see that. And we've been talking about this time and time again. There's these players who are breaking out and opening up to the baseball world to let them know that, hey, you see me as a baseball player, but I'm a fucking human being,
Mm-hmm.
right? They're human beings. Like, they have the same stressors that we have. They have the same, mental breakdowns like we do. Just because they're athletes doesn't take away the fact that they're fucking human beings. You know, they are gonna fail just like us. We talk shit about them being failures, but how many times have we failed a fucking test, or how many times have we, you know, fucking didn't get the car that we wanted or something like that? We're all human beings. We're all in the same boat. And the more players like this open up and actually show us the reality of life, the reality of a baseball player, like I think it's going to change the mindset of the actual baseball fan and realize that, holy fuck, like me saying Mark Appel is a bust, like that doesn't help him, you know? And I'm not saying me specifically, but I'm just saying as a baseball fans, like hopefully this brings awareness to baseball fans, the reality that, again, they're human beings. So the next time you start talking shit about a fan, or I mean, talking shit about a baseball player or yelling at them from fucking left field, like realize that they might be going through some shit that you don't know. Like Tommy Pham gets so much shit every fucking game. He's talking back, right? I respect him for it, but like you guys don't know what the fuck he's going through, you know? So just bringing awareness. That's what we do. Top of lineup, baby. That's how we are.
Not for the views.
Not for the views. No, it's a fucking reality, bro. This is what we're living through. So if you guys have gone past all the bulk of the information, this is probably one of the biggest things that we want you all to hear. It's okay to not be okay, and it's okay to take a break, you know? So again, shout out to Mark Appel. Moving on, Max Scherzer, 3,000 strikeouts. Holy shit.
Tip of the cap.
I'm taking out. Oh,
nice little, yep, thank you.
Little tip of the cap. Holy shit, what a career, what a fucking great season. I mean, it's a great run.
First ballot.
Yeah, for sure. Guaranteed. What's the other one? And sorry, you probably hear my dog freaking flapping his damn ears, but again, shout out Dodgers Giants clinching playoffs. That's great. Derek Jeter, Larry Walker, Marvin Miller, and Ted Simmons. Shout out to all of you. Yeah, Hall of Famers. That was great. I think it was great. Derek Jeter is like, oh, thank you to all the writers.
To all the writers except for one.
Except for one. What that I love that. Some people didn't like that, and they're like, oh, that just goes to show on why he didn't get that vote. Fuck off. Like, yeah. Come on. Look, you know, like
I've given my Derek Jeter slander over and over again, but the man's a Hall of Famer.
Exactly.
You won't hear me disagree with that. He is one of the best shortstops of all time. Now I think there are better, don't get me wrong,
you know,
but he is one of the best shortstops of all time. Yes. And yes, thank you. Shout out, big shout out here.
Gone Bridge podcast. Sorry, Gone Bridge podcast. They are I believe the dedicated Red Sox podcast.
Oh, Sox. Yep.
But yeah, I love this t-shirt. This is Nomar over Jeter. I had to support. You know, I know you fucking love this.
Oh, I love this shirt. I'm a big Noma fan.
Yeah, but yeah, no. Again, hey, if he's in the Hall of Fame, there's no popularity type deal in that regard. So, yeah, shout out to you all. We had Roberto Clemente day, I believe.
He was wearing 21.
Yeah, I believe. Yeah, a couple days ago, and yeah, it was nice to see. I saw an article. And he was just pretty much saying that, you know, Roberto Clemente carried on what Jackie Robinson was doing, like in terms of that impact, you know, and it's true. I mean, this was a great man, great player on the field. I mean, he has exactly 3,000 hits. And I mean, he, I believe when he passed with the plane that crashed, I think he was going to, it could have been Puerto Rico, I could be wrong, but yes. He was going he was going to, you know, I believe
bring meals.
Bring meals. Yeah. So that, I mean, again, that's just awesome, you know. So when you have time, just look him up. A lot of people, I don't want people to forget this man, because the impact that he had on the game and also just in life, it just goes beyond baseball. So,
well, and MLB owes him, his legacy, his family,
exactly,
some respect, even more than he's got. Because look, and don't take this the wrong way, I'm not taking away from Jackie Robinson. Jackie Robinson deserves all the credit that he's now finally getting. It took him a long time to get here. But Roberto Clemente deserves not as much. That's not what I'm saying, but pretty damn close, right? He's a Hall of Famer off and on the field. And it's time to retire number 21. Like it's time. I know that's a very popular jersey number, but 21 does not need to be on anyone's back anymore.
I agree with you. I agree with you. And yeah, I mean, I have nothing else to say, honestly. Like I'm getting a little choked up because like we need, I mean, it's Hispanic Heritage Month too. Like it just like, it just all goes in just together. And I mean, for just the representation, when we talk about that, you know, a lot of, I hate to say it, but a lot of baseball podcasts, they're, you know, a lot of people that we follow, they're predominantly white. We're probably one of the very few, you know,
That's a good point. I've never thought about that.
Very few like Hispanic, strictly Hispanic, you know, podcasters, you know, and I just love the representation and be able to use this platform to you know, give someone like that a shout out, you know. So yeah, I honestly, like I'm not one to dive into like all, you know, color and everything in that regard, but like that's something that I've noticed, like all the people we follow, I'm like, holy shit, like where's the, you know, where's us, you know? We have there's that Sunday League podcast who we follow, which is, yeah, shout out to them. Even Real Talk Baseball as well, I know they are too, but like
shout out.
Yeah, shout out. But yeah, just don't, you know, the big ones, right? Starting nine, you know, what's the one, I mean, John Boy Media, the whole thing, right? So
Section 10.
Yeah, so again, just shout out to you, Roberto. Thank you again for everything. Two more, like we have two more shout outs, guys, and thank you for just following us. But following us through this. But Ohtani, Ohtani has been named one of the most influential people in 2020 and 2021 in Times Magazine. So
put us on the map, baby. Put baseball on, dude, the fucking
that's
map.
Exactly what I'm saying. Like baseball is not one of those popular sports compared to football. Everyone fucking loves football, right?
And basketball.
Baseball is, for the most part, shunned under the rug because, you know, oh, it's a long game, everything. But the fact that Ohtani, right, is in this, it's awesome.
Love that.
Yeah, and there's great names in there. I mean, Dua Lipa, hey, shout out. Just a side note, but no, there's a lot of people in there, great people, and for him to be in that one, it's just awesome to see.
Yeah, no, love to see that. Love growing the game. What he means to Japan is amazing, and you know, we get the luxury to watch him here, you know, at a normal time, but in Japan they're watching him when they eat breakfast, and they make time to watch him. Do not get that wrong. They love, you know, their sports segments on their local news station is, there's probably a 5 to 10 minute dedication just to Shohei Ohtani. And that shows, you know, why he's so influential. The whole country is following this man. And he deserves it. Face of the baseball, baby.
Yeah, hey, exactly. And the last shout out, and
no, let me cut you off there.
Oh,
let me cut you off there. I want to give you a shout out.
Yeah, okay?
Do it. We made this post, okay, and if you haven't figured the title of this episode at this point, it's not for the views, because that's what we're about. We're not for the views, okay. My shout out goes to Soto. We were at the Dodgers Giants game, and Soto was in line, and there's a little girl. So and backstory, Soto's wearing Dodgers gear, right? Little girl's wearing Giants stuff, and she wants cotton candy. Well, the Giants aren't accepting cash right now, only card payments. Or is it only cash?
The cotton candy stand was only accepting cash.
Okay, thank you. So I had that wrong. Only accepting cash. Dad of this little girl doesn't have cash. Can't buy his daughter cotton candy. What does Soto do? Soto has cash on him. Soto hands over money. Wasn't expecting a Venmo payment back, anything like that. Here you go. here's money, buy your little girl some cotton candy. And dude, that's what it's all about. We don't do shit for the views. We don't do it for the views. Casey took a picture of it. We did post it. That's just appreciation for Soto. It's not us trying to put our faces on the map. Look, if it did happen, like, dude, that's awesome. That's cool. I'm all for it. However, that's not what we're trying to do. What we're trying to do is grow the game, and you doing that. And the coolest part, and I'll let you take over. The coolest part is what the dad said, and I'll let you have it.
He said, he's like, honey, do you see what he's wearing? Because they're Giants fans, you know. He says,
Yeah.
do you see what he's wearing? And like that I don't know, like that felt good, you know. Like, again, that's why I told you, like, I was happy to do it, because I potentially changed that dad's perspective of what he thought of a Dodger fans, and even the kid, right? And that's what I you know, I've always been taught to do stuff like that. I didn't ask Casey to take a picture of what I did, and for the most part, a lot of the stuff that I do offline, I don't take pictures of me handing stickers to people or giving that stuff. Like, that's not who I am and who I haven't been. Like, I'm not going to record myself. Oh, here's a sticker, you know, and record, you know, first point of view. I don't do that.
Not for the views.
It's not for the views, dude. I mentioned this before. There was a couple, they lost their bobbleheads, their Yaz bobbleheads, and we had extra. And I said, here, just have it. He's like, dude, you want any money? No, just take it. Like, and I'm not lying. You can ask my wife. You can ask my sister-in-law, my sister-in-law's cousin. Like, you can ask them. Like, I just did it at the goodness of my heart. I went to the All-Star game, and this guy was asking where I got this All-Star bag. I said, oh, they're giving out for free. And I said, you know, it's like, oh, well, they don't have anymore. Well, I gave him my fucking bag, because I felt that, like, that means more to him than it would mean to me. And again, like, it's just making that impact. And for the most part, people always tell me, like, oh, you should have told him to follow top of the lineup. And in those moments, I'm not thinking about our podcast. I'm just thinking about making an impact for baseball. I want to, here's the thing. I am representing baseball, and I'm also just representing myself as a human being, like, just showing that human beings could be good people.
We're okay.
We're all right, you know. So thank you for that, dude. I appreciate that.
No,
like,
I appreciate
honestly,
you, dude.
I'm glad you brought that up, because it's just, you know, I know I went on a little rant about the following thing, but the goodness of our hearts, like, we truly do care. You know, we care about people and want to make that impact. So I appreciate
even
that.
if you're wearing a Giants hat,
it doesn't
even
matter.
if you're wearing a Yankees jersey, even if you're wearing an Astros shirt, doesn't matter. It's all about the game, baby.
Exactly. The last shout out is just to everyone who follows us. You know, we finally got to 200 followers. That was a goal for us to hit by the end of the year.
And we're here September.
And
we're like
September.
the fucking Dodgers of the Giants, baby.
Exactly.
We're clinching early.
Exactly. So just shout out to you all for the support, and I appreciate you know, the fans that, like, send us, you know, videos to post and things like that. Like, it's great. I haven't necessarily posted their videos, like, just the clips that they send, but I'm thinking of, like, just having a dedicated day where it's like a fan day, where, like, all the videos that they send, I just repost them, you know. So but yeah, thank you again. It's been quite a ride, and we're still growing,
It's fun.
which is exciting.
It's fun. Not for the fucking views. Don't ever get that twisted.
Exactly.
I have a 9-to-5 job. Soto has a 9-to-5 job. Look, if we blow up tomorrow, cool, that's awesome, but that's not what we're setting out to do.
Exactly.
Not what we're trying to do.
Exactly.
Well, cool. Yeah, I mean, we couldn't have said it better, really. This title is not only the title of this episode, but really the title of what our goal is. So with that, baby, top of the lineup is out.